San Franciscans are fiercely protective of their city. As Amma just mentioned, the gloves came off when the president called San Francisco streets disgusting over the weekend. The same goes for the name. For some, San Francisco should not be called anything else. Now, last year we brought you the first survey about what to call San Francisco. Curtis Spare with Bospar is back with us with a look at what the non-locals think about the name. First, thanks for coming in on the holiday.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to it, and we'll start with what locals think, because 65% say San Francisco should be
San Francisco.
San Francisco. That makes perfect sense. But a lot of people, and we have this at 46%, use the city. And living in the East Bay, a lot of, where are you going? Well, we're heading into the city. And so that's a given. And 37% call it SF. How about the people who are not from here? What do those results show?
The results from elsewhere show most people say San Francisco.
Okay.
But when we ask people from the UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada what else they call San Francisco, the #1 nickname after San Francisco was San Fran. And so we dug a little bit deeper, and we discovered that about a quarter of these people would continue saying San Fran even if they knew it irritated us.
So, or maybe especially if they knew it irritated us.
Such trolls.
Yes, exactly. I'm surprised that Frisco is not on the list of most irritating.
Yeah.
Or on this list at all, really. Who's calling San Francisco the Golden City? 28%? Where are these 28%? I'd like them to identify themselves.
Well, they're all over there or over there.
Over there, all right.
The thing is that this is kind of the big issue of our time, is treating people and places with the dignity that they respect and deserve.
Sure.
And I think that that's what's lacking in this whole debate about what to call San Francisco.
What are the results from across the pond in the UK?
The UK was the most polite, the most proper. As you would expect, they're the ones most likely to say San Francisco. They were also the ones who would course correct if you said, hey, San Fran is not cool, don't say it.
Oh, so they would go with us as
right.
opposed to just deciding what they want. 24% would still call it San Fran or Frisco, even if it bugged the locals. Which 24%? Do we have a geographic location on that?
When we looked and drilled down, we discovered that the people from Australia and New Zealand were the most likely to stick with bugging us and stick with the trolling. The British were the most polite, and the Canadians predictably were in between, in the middle of that.
Well, we like the Aussies and the Kiwis, though, so that's a little bit surprising. We want to know what you think. Which name annoys you the most? And you can vote here. San Francisco, Frisco, or the Golden Gate City. And we'll keep this up for a few moments. Your polling asked one other thing, is what they most associate with the Bay Area. This is a hot topic because we've had, especially with Prop C and the comments from the president and trying to get the streets cleaned up, a lot of tourists feel that it's not as welcoming in San Francisco as it once was. Some feel it's dangerous.
None of the tourists, or none of the people from our poll, that is, said anything about trash or homeless or anything like that. What they talked about was they most associated the Bay Area with our Golden Gate Bridge, with Alcatraz, with all the physical features, even the painted ladies in Full House. They also, associated San Francisco with the LGBT community and the hippie counterculture. Tech companies, however, did not resonate as highly as this. So I think when people come to San Francisco, they're really taking in the natural beauty, and that's the thing that's most important to them.
So it's really more about the positives. All right, so our results to this moment, most annoying, 55%. Say Frisco. I think we can agree with that.
I too hope I never hear Frisco again in my life. I'm hoping that perhaps, President Kamala Harris makes a decree and we can set this behind us forever.
Well, we'll see in 2020. Curtis, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Larry.